Konnichiwa, this is Saki. Today I want to talk about what I do to deal with my autism. 5 things that I like to do, preferably every day or every other day. First is to have some sensory comfort things. You know what I mean? Something that I like touching. For example, this my friend, Mia-chan. So she's really soft, right? She's my favorite companion wolf. And I sleep with her like every night, and I even take a nap when I'm tired. She has her own bed with her toy ball, which I'm showing here. And every time I just look at her, this makes me smile, right? Every time I come home, find her on my bed, it makes me smile so much. So it's a really simple thing. Second thing is exercising. For me, exercising is part of me. It's just I do calisthenics, and I'm currently trying to learn ring muscle ups. I am aiming at mastering it before autumn, like preferably before September. And I just did the session earlier as well, and I'm so my right bicep is so sore. So calisthenics is very helpful for me with my autism, is because it keeps me mindful. Okay, it keeps me passionate about one thing. Okay, I think one of the traits of autistic person is we just get bored of like so many things, like very quickly. And if something is too easy for me, I get so tired of it, like really quickly. You know, it has to be like challenging, but it's not too challenging. Exercising is also like very good for my mental health, especially cardio, like running. Like I like to run at least 15 minutes every day. Okay, 15 minutes is like nothing. It's just like very short period of time, right? So I'm sure you can make some time. Strength training maybe takes about an hour at least, but like it just makes me feel good afterwards. And my problem with autism is I just get bored so quickly, right? And I just wander around trying to distract myself with the internet. I just end up watching YouTube for at least an hour, right? Without mindless. Like that's why I don't have an Instagram on my phone, and I don't watch TikTok on my phone. I only install these when I want to post something. I don't look at anything on Instagram or TikTok. So that helps too. The third thing I like to do is playing the violin. Okay, it doesn't have to be the violin, but I would say music. Okay, maybe this is not for everyone because music is not free usually. If you want to play something, you have to buy the instrument, you have to pay for the maintenance. So it's not going to be like free hobby. It is challenging. It was like too challenging for me, honestly. Like I started playing the violin in 2021, so I've been playing it for 5 years. But like when I first started, despite having played the guitar for like 8 years, playing the violin was a completely different thing, and it was much more difficult, at least as a beginner, to get a hang of it. You know, just holding the bow itself. You know, this this looks simple, right? You just have to do this. You know, it looks simple, but it took me at least like 2 years to just comfortably hold the bow. Guitar, like holding a pick is like just one day, right? So like it was like, oh my gosh, this was very challenging. But I am still into Sherlock Holmes, right? And also I heard Einstein used to play the violin when he wasn't working on his theories or whatever to distract himself. So like both of those geniuses, although Sherlock Holmes being the fictional figure, were very, very intelligent people. And Sherlock Holmes was like my inspiration for, you know, smart, uh, analytical, calm, like everything about him. And I also like a lone wolf as well. I've always been a lone wolf, so like I resonated with him so much. This might be like another autistic trait that you are like obsessed with one thing. Like you might be like into Napoleon, and you are like dressed as him. Like you can recite every single word he said, or like like every history of him or something. You know, it's basically like I'm not as I can't recite every quote from Sherlock Holmes, but I had passion for him. Einstein, Sherlock Holmes, play the violin to like it's a fancy way to distract oneself from thinking about one problem, right? It's, they did it to distract themselves from the problems they were trying to solve. So I was like very fancy. If I could play the violin, that's very fancy, right? I got into it and I didn't give up, right? For the first 2 years, I sounded like crap, and I still do, by the way. But I've gotten to the point where I am satisfied with my sound, at least most of the time. So something that mm, gives you like the passion, and I think many autistic people like music. So that's why I'm saying music here. But it can be anything, you know. It can be working out, like I mentioned before. It can be painting, which a lot of autistic people are into. I'm not into it. It can be solving algebra, whatever, you know. I'm not type of that genius autistic person. Fourth thing I highly recommend you do is to read books. It can be novels, it can be non-fiction books. It really depends on what you're into. You might be into novels, you might be into more self-improvement. I'm more into self-improvement. I tend to end up reading non-fiction books. My favorite book at the time right now is The Marshmallow Test, which is written by Michelle Walter. Walter, excuse me, Walter Michelle. This book teaches me like how delaying the gratification can lead to a more successful life. There's a famous test called the marshmallow test, where the researchers assigned children, toddlers, to wait to have like one marshmallow like in front of them, and they tell the children if they could wait for the researchers to come back with the extra marshmallow without eating the one that's on the table, the children will get two, both. But if the child eats the one marshmallow on the table, they only get one. The researchers won't come back with the extra marshmallow. So basically, if someone had the self-control as a toddler, you can have more patience, you can have more financial stability later in life. Okay, that's the study. But also, it's not fixed. Okay, it's just your ability can be improved, because it's like it's just all about willpower, right? The one's ability to distract themselves from the marshmallow in front of you. So if you have the willpower, you are able to have a more successful life. And these types of books just gives me hope, right? They give me hope. And speaking from my experience, after I've read The Happiness Trap, just displaying it here, I've just mastered the way to diffuse with thoughts, you know. And I even written a book on like mental health after gathering the knowledge that worked for my mental health, the best for my mental health. So if you're interested, you know, if you're like too lazy to like read these things, you know, you can have a link in the description below. I will leave a link in the description below to my mental health book, so you can check it out. So it is sort of connected to the fourth thing, but the fifth thing is meditating. And like I said, it's free, entirely free. All you need to do is just cross-legged, sit cross-legged, pay attention to the breath for like, I don't know, just depends on the duration you wish to do. I like to do 15 minutes every day upon waking up, just paying attention to my breath, and that really calms my nervous system down. And I've been doing it for, I think, since 2019, so it's been like 7 years. I've been doing meditating like almost every day for like 7 years, and it just changed my life completely. Okay, I used to be more hot tempered, and I just was more prone to panic. Now I am just so calm, at least calmer, a lot calmer than like 7 years ago. So it's something that you can do. You can start right now. You can start doing. You know, I don't even do. Although I say like an hour, like I end up like doing 1 hour of like scrolling. But like if you're like living this era, 1 hour of scrolling is like probably nothing. Yeah. And I usually catch myself doing it, you know, thanks to the exercising and meditating. Because I just catch myself doing it, like watching the internet, and then just come back and just spend time with Mia, right? Or just go for a run again. So it's been really, really helpful. Okay? So you can start with 5 minutes if you want. And another book that helped me with meditating is this wonderful book, Wherever You Go, There You Are. Just so wonderful. So I highly recommend this book as well. So I recommend my book, Strong-Hearted Vegan, and this book. So through my life, I have learned to cope with autism better is to learn about oneself, okay? Including the human mechanism, including pay attention to yourself through meditating, and also including just being grateful for other people, like even playing games that has helped me, because like in games you sometimes have to make financial decisions in the game, right? Like, should I upgrade this now? Do I need this upgrade? So I have been playing Assassin's Creed, like this is my favorite game, and there's an option to innovate in a building, right? Innovate in a town, or like innovate your office, right? So I just sometimes, like, I'm not interested. I don't need to have a fancy office, you know. I don't need to have this feature because I can, you know, kill these enemies with my hidden blades already. So I don't need a new weapon. I don't have to pay for the new weapons. You know, just like even like in video games, you get to see your options. And choice-based games like the Telltale games or the like Heavy Rain, Detroit Becomes Human, that those types of games really opens up as well. So I'm just saying, self-analysis is very important to coping with autism, because sometimes you have autism, you might not even like plushies, you might not even appreciate like a fluffy companion, you might not even appreciate meditating, you might not even appreciate exercising. You never know. Lots of people say autistic people have sensitivity to like textures, but I like wearing like skinny jeans, for example, right? It's just not something that you can define in one mold. So this video is just about introducing what I like to do as an autistic person, and then just hoping that you get some inspiration, you get some new ideas on how to live a better life. So thank you so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Until next time.